We thought we were alone. We were wrong. Somewhere deep in the woods, long after the campfire had burned out, we heard a voice, a chilling hello that sent shivers down our spines. What happened next turned our camping trip into something straight out of a horror movie. This is Whispers by Dark. My friends and I take a camping trip to a new location every summer. It's a tradition we've kept for years, and nothing too strange has ever happened until this one trip changed everything. At first, it was just another adventure. We hiked, fished, and soaked in the beauty of nature. But by the second night, things took a turn. A voice echoed through the trees, getting closer and closer. Then, footsteps, and then something even worse. What you're about to hear may sound like something straight out of a horror movie, but I swear, it's 100% true. My friends and I go on a camping trip to a new location every summer. It's a tradition we've had for years as a way to unwind and reconnect. One year, we decided to hike the trails in West Glacier, Montana. My friend Luke, a photographer, is always eager to bring his camera gear and capture the beauty of nature. So we made sure to carve out time for him to get plenty of shots. The first day went smoothly. We hiked, explored, and took the breathtaking views while Luke snapped photos. Everything was calm and peaceful. And that first night, we settled into our tents, mine alone, while the other two shared one. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary, or so we thought. The second day was filled with more outdoor activities, fishing by a nearby river and other mundane things, but nothing worth mentioning. However, that second night was when things started to get strange. After the campfire was put out, we crawled into our tents, not yet asleep, just lying there in the dark. Then we began to hear something. At first it was faint, but gradually it grew louder. A voice, an older woman's voice, echoing through the trees. It wasn't just random sounds. It was clear, distinct, and getting louder every few seconds. I called over to my friends in the next tent, asking if they heard it too. They responded, confirming they could hear it. We all agreed it was coming from somewhere out in the woods. But the weirdest part? It didn't sound like someone just lost in the woods. It was deliberate, like someone was calling, but we couldn't make out any words. And the more it echoed, the more unsettling it became. Something wasn't right. We all lay there, frozen, unsure of what to do next. The voice grew so close that we could finally make out the words. "Hello?" I felt my entire body tense up. Maybe you think we were horrible people for not immediately rushing to help what sounded like an older woman lost in the woods. But something about it didn't feel right. Being deep in the forest in the dead of night and hearing a voice call out like that, it was beyond unsettling. Then we heard footsteps, slow, deliberate, crunching through the underbrush, drawing closer to our tents. The voice called out again, "Hello?" This time just outside my tent. My breath caught in my throat. Something was off. We thought the nightmare ended when the sun came up. We were wrong. It wasn't until we were halfway home that we discovered the truth that still haunts us today. Not that the voice was so close, it didn't sound like a woman anymore. It sounded like a man trying to sound like a woman, like someone forcing their voice higher to disguise it. And then, without warning, the tent shook, hard. I screamed, barely able to form words. "What do you want?" My friend's voice rang out from the other tent. "Go away!" The shaking stopped instantly. Silence. Then the hurried sound of footsteps retreating into the woods. I sat frozen for a moment, my heart pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. Then, gathering what little courage I had left, I unzipped my tent, grabbed my sleeping bag, and bolted towards my friend's tent. Even in those brief 5 seconds outside, I felt completely exposed, like someone or something was watching me, waiting to grab me. Once inside, we sat in the dark, whispering about what happened. None of us believed it had been a woman. We were convinced it was a man pretending to be one to lure us out. But why? What was his plan? Did he have a weapon? We didn't know, and we didn't want to find out. We agreed there was no way we were leaving now. Instead, we'd wait until the first light of dawn. And as we sat in silence, listening to the night, I couldn't shake the feeling that whoever or whatever had been outside our tent was still out there, watching, waiting. We also agreed that one of us needed to stay awake at all times to keep watch, so we decided to take turns. Matt volunteered to go first, while Luke and I tried to sleep. Not that it was easy after what had just happened. Every little sound outside made my heart race. I kept thinking I heard footsteps circling the tent, but they stopped every time I held my breath to listen. At some point, exhaustion won out, and I finally drifted off. I didn't wake up again until the morning. That's when I found out Luke had fallen asleep during his shift, meaning all three of us had been out cold for hours. The relief of seeing the sun was immeasurable. We packed our gear quickly and started the long hike back to the truck. The ride home was quiet, each of us lost in thought about what had happened the night before. Then Luke started going through his camera, scrolling through the pictures he had taken during the trip. At first, it was just nature shots, mountains, trees, the river. But then, he stopped. His face went pale. "What the hell?" he muttered. Matt and I leaned over to look. The last 3 pictures weren't ones that Luke had taken. The first 2 were shots of our campsite in the middle of the night, taken from the tree line. The third, it was from inside our tent. It showed all 3 of us asleep. None of our belongings were missing, and none of us had been harmed. Yet someone had been close enough to unzip our tent, step inside, and take a picture of us without waking us up. If you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and ring the bell icon for more updates. Also, what would you have done in our situation? Let us know in the comments. Stay safe out there, folks, and we'll see you in the next one.